Hey there, it's Derek here from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan. And we're looking at a 1991 Honda Beat. This one here with 130,000 original kilometers on it. Few modifications, mostly visual modifications. Wheels, aero parts, whatnot. It's a 660cc, so less than a 1 liter mid-mounted 3-cylinder engine with original from factory individual throttle bodies. Very cool. One of the coolest sounding engines, also revs like 9,000, 10,000 RPM, somewhere around there. We'll just take a look at the condition. This one was bought from auction for export over to the USA. Okay, just going to close up the hood here. This is just spare tire and other various things in here. Not much to see. There is no front trunk, sadly. Close that up. Close this one up. That's all the trunk space that you get. And have a look. This one used to have the upgraded audio, but it's been removed, and so it leaves holes in the carpet there. I'll give you a little bit of a listen to the engine sound. Oh, it's out of gas. Yeah, this was running completely fine up until now, and now it's running out of gas. I do have some gas that I can put into it, but yeah, it should definitely rev higher than that, and you can kind of smell the old fuel coming out of those 4-tip exhausts. So sadly, we don't get to listen to it. I'm going to shut the engine off so that it's not going to actually run out of gas. Okay, so I already shot the report for this one last week in our lot, but then there was a memory card error, and now I have to reshoot. This thing is fiddly. And so that's why we are here at the port instead of in our lot. Came here as a special trip just for this, and it turned out there was actually a flat tire on one of the other vehicles, so I went and did that first. Okay, so as far as Beats go, this one's really cool. The hardtop on it is very unique. It has, say, Volk racing wheels, front and rear, different patterns. Aftermarket front bumper, that's quite a good looking front bumper. Very low to the ground, and so this car is already pretty low to the ground, but has been lowered with a bigger front bumper to give it more of a lower visual there. Let's go ahead and translate this auction inspection sheet. It's a 1991 Beat, auction grade 4, interior C, exterior C. Now this one's not an R grade, but I believe it's been in something of an accident, but hasn't been repaired. There are no repair signs on any of the corners, front or rear. But there is a trunk that doesn't like to close exactly perfectly. You see that? Also, this door over here is somewhat misaligned, but the auction sheet did mention that this door has been replaced. And lining up a door, especially if not done by a caring person, can lead to misalignments. It's quite difficult to line up a door properly. Check this out. Plexiglass back window with a support beam in it and a fiberglass hardtop. That's going to keep the weight down, and looks really cool. I really haven't seen too many hardtops on these. The factory ones are very rare. Aftermarket ones like this are even rarer, and so that's a nice bonus. I don't believe that it leaks. There's no signs of water damage on the interior. And so it's a full package. Oh, and don't forget the GT wing. It's looking pretty good, I think. And I love a big wing, and I think the Beat could probably use some downforce. It is a small car, but who doesn't want a little bit more downforce? Let's continue here with the translation. So 130,088 kilometers. And yeah, the vehicle's really dirty right now. It just finished raining, and it's just starting to rain again. I'm here in the morning instead of the afternoon when I usually come, because it's going to rain all afternoon. So it might start coming down mid-report here. Sales points say aftermarket aero parts, GT wing, aftermarket suspension, hardtop Volk racing wheels, aftermarket exhaust, and then this is the first time that it's been at JU. Has power windows, no power steering, but it's a mid-engine, tiny little car, so it doesn't really need them. And tires on the front are really narrow as well. 155, so they're 15.5 centimeters wide. And CE28s and TE37s. It's like they couldn't decide which one to put on, so they put on both. You also have an upgraded racing pad on there. Okay, I don't know about the grade of the racing pad, but do be careful. Some racing pads, if they are a more intense one, will only start working once they're heated up. but for a lightweight car like this, you typically wouldn't go with an intense pad. Tires on the back, a fairly stretched tire. Have a look. So do keep that in mind. Where do we got the tire size? Of course, right down here at the bottom. 16.5 50 R15. Okay, so they kept with the upsized wheels in the back. From factory, they run 13s and 14s, so this is one size up from the factory size. Okay, report here says body has been fully repainted in the same color. Engine has an oil leak. There's nothing that's dripping down, so I don't think it's going to have problems with shipping. Underside surface rust and has been painted. Body has shallow scratches. Seat saggy. Console has a screw hole in it. I'll show you that when we get to the interior. And aftermarket steering wheel and shift knob. Quite a nice shift knob on this, I must say. The car is very small, very tossable, and the shift knob helps you feel that way. It isn't a big Volkswagen style one. It is a very tiny one that can be shifted with just a few fingers. Quite like that a lot. Okay, and what else do we have? Oh, okay, front and rear wheels are not matching, but they are kind of matching because they're the same finish on them, the bronze finish. So it's very popular in the 2010s to replace the very popular white that Volvo used to be known for. And before that it was silver. Okay, body is looking all good, but this door has been replaced, and I can attest to that. The body is in good condition and the paint job looks like it's been done well. Let's go around here so you can see it from all different angles. Now it's hard to say, like in a video, exactly how small this car is. It's basically the same size as an original Mini. And while on the street, especially with a big wing like this, it's really going to look special. A lot of people have never heard of the Beat before, especially outside of Japan, where I think Japan was the only country that ever got this. I think the Cappuccino was released, Cappuccino is a Suzuki open-top roadster that competed with this. That was released in Europe, I know, but I don't think that the Beat was. Okay, so front bumper has an integrated lip in it, as well as ducts for either fog lights or brake cooling if you want to use them for that. Going down the sides, everything's looking good. The car is lowered. It's not terribly low. You do want to be careful not to lower it too much, or else you're going to have clearance problems with that front lip. Love the quad tip exhausts, and the cutouts in the bumper have actually been cut out, giving you vents here, a la Honda Civic. Vent your parachute kind of style. I think this is an aftermarket rear bumper because I don't think that the original came with those spats. And then this is the stock hood that has the vents for the engine in it there. Okay, the wing feels a little bit floppy. You probably saw that when I closed the trunk. Part of it comes down to the fact that when you bolt on a wing to a trunk, it's naturally not going to be super secure. You can secure it by putting ribs underneath the trunk if you want to, but really for the most part this is going to be mostly a visual upgrade to it. Mind you, we thought that the visual upgrades to our Roadster, by putting a big wing on it, was going to be visual only, but it turned out it actually did make a difference in stability on the track. Okay, it's starting to rain a little bit more. My apologies, I don't like shooting these in the rain, but such is life sometimes. It's going to rain all week, and heavier rain from after today. Okay, so door cards are prone to fading in this car. This one's no different, but it is very light fading there, and up here compared to your average, very heavy fading. This one has a seat cover for the driver, so you don't get to see that lovely zebra print for the driver. But these seats are prone to ripping. In just about every one that I've seen, there's been a rip in it in this section here. I'm not sure why that section gets the rips so often. They also tend to rip right here underneath. This one feels good here underneath the cover, but definitely is ripped here. You can feel the section of foam that's missing. Okay, steering wheel's been sized down a little bit, making steering a little bit more of an effort, but I wouldn't worry. It's a nice thin steering wheel, so together with the thin steering wheel, the thin shift knob, it gives it a lighter and smaller feel to the interior, also giving you a little bit more room. I feel like maybe 6 feet is about the max for a Beat, but it depends. Mike, our staff Mike, is like 6'4". He can definitely fit in them. And Mike used to own a GTO and was comfortable driving them. And I feel like this car maybe has less room in it than a GTO has. I'm sorry, this car has more room than a GTO. For some reason, the GTOs are really tight. Okay, our red line is at 8,500 RPM. I don't know how high it will actually rev before it hits the rev limiter, but you can see the rev limiter triangle goes up to 10,000. So that's why I said it's a 9,000 to 10,000 RPM red line. The upgraded speakers, the Gathers speakers, are cool. They're up in the dashboard. Unfortunately, they are paper cone speakers component, and they were probably good out of the factory, but because they're right next to the windshield, they take on sun damage and end up deteriorating. I don't think I've seen any that have been in good condition. Plus, you only get a tape deck, which is a little bit funny for the upgraded audio version, even for 1991. Console has a screw hole here. Oh, and while we're on the topic of stereo, that's a subwoofer. A little one, but it's a subwoofer. It has an adjustable gain on it too. And then ashtray here has a chip out of it. Carpet has some heel damage. And what's this? Ray-Brig fog lights, probably, that used to be on the car. Okay, you also have a I don't know what that is. Maybe a radar detector? Not sure. Okay, it has a few little areas of glue that can be touched up pretty easily. Some fade on that door card over there. Generally, the trunk the interior here is generally pretty good. And without a soft top, you actually get a storage area up there. Hard top isn't easily removable. It's been hard mounted, which is what people do when they want more chassis rigidity, is they'll hard mount these because the clips are really not secure, and this does make a difference. Probably about 10 to 20% increase. And then you can see this is a very lightweight fiberglass top. Okay. M-Trek. M-Trek is the multi-throttle response engine control. That's the ITBs. Honda didn't have many cars that had ITBs. They had bikes that had ITBs, of course. They didn't have many cars. As far as I know, it was just this, and the same engine in a different state of tune was in the Honda Today hatchback, which is a car I definitely want to try buying because I want to see what it's like. Okay, so there we have it. Honda Beat here at the port of Yokohama. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please let me know. If not, thank you for watching, and have a nice day.